Greetings everyone and a warm welcome. Hey, thank you guys for joining me for June's tarot readings for all the signs. This is just a general introduction to talk a little bit about how we are working for the month. So we're going to be using these three cards in front of you, three cards from each deck, and then one Keeper of the Light card at the end of the reading as well. Now, I have spent a bit of time with each independent sign working out some intuitive messages for you all, and you will each be delivered that at the beginning of your reading as well. I have chosen to use two fairy decks this time in the month's reading. I don't know why. There feels as though there needs to be a degree of warmth and positivity inspired into the readings. It feels as though there might be some sort of activation from Mother Earth or Gaia in the month of June. There does feel to be a little bit of tumultuous energies around from the messages that I have already pre-received and recorded for each of your individual signs. So I don't know what June is got in its mind, but it feels quite a feisty month with quite a lot of energy around it, some of which you might all have to be a bit cautious with and be eyes open type thing. I am wondering if some of the earth energy is related to the Hawaiian volcano, Pele, the goddess Pele, and some of her wildfire energy stirring up the planet. We do notice there are a lot of active volcanoes on the planet at the moment, some erupting spontaneously that have been dormant or sleeping for many, many years. This in turn also creates active earthquake activity as well. So with no further ado, let's get into the readings. Greetings Virgo and welcome to your reading for June. Hey, thanks for joining me everyone. Namaste to you all. Just before we start with the cards, I did do some intuitive work with you guys before the reading and we got some of the following messages. There's a possibility that some of you may have been feeling a bit trapped or do at the moment, trapped in a situation, or whether it be with relationships or career or ideas or moving forward with anything, could be health even. But this could be a bit of an illusion about how trapped you are, and it could be up to you guys to look around. It's like being stuck in a mirror maze and you need to find a way out, but there is a way out. So don't be fooled by illusions in the month of June. So don't go with surface appearances. You may be feeling as though things are out of control, but make a decision, because making a decision gives us control back and can often lead back to allowing us to move forward with renewed vigor and energy. Also breathe and meditate. And then the colour black came about and at night and underground, so things at night or underground, and also the colour red. So not sure what they all mean and what they might individually mean to each of you, but let's go ahead and shuffle the cards for you guys for Virgo for June 2018. They are a little bit noisy because they're quite stiff cards and they have to be shuffled like this. They're too big for me to hold in my hand. These are a proper tarot deck. They are just imbued with the elemental energies. Okay, one more shuffle. This is for Virgo. The Four of Winter, which is the Four of Swords, the Nine of Winter, which is the Nine of Swords, and the Dreamer, which is the Fool, which is number one of my favourite cards of the deck. This is for Virgo for June. The Thinking Man, the Daughter Romance, and Adjacent Possibilities. So I do see plenty of doors here and plenty of opportunities and ways out, and this looks very much like a room, a maze, and trying to find your way out of something. So that possibly does resonate there. The last deck for you guys express your individuality. You've got the power. And winter. Okay, so let's just see how we can focus best there. There is that kind of shaft of light going across the table in the middle, which could be a bit annoying, but that's life and that's the way it's working. And in fact, it's putting some beautiful reflective energies across the cards anyhow and bringing light to the reading after me mentioning that there was a little bit of darkness. So you have got a few wintry cards, you know, the sword type energy. We've got this one here, this one and this one down here, also referring to winter. And of course for the northern hemisphere it's summer right now, polar opposite of winter. For us down here in the southern hemisphere, June is the first month of our winter. So this reading might be relevant for some southern hemisphere people for timing issues and also talking about the season of winter. We are reading down through the columns, so we will start here and work this way. So the Four of Swords is often seen as a card where we are required to take some time out to rethink strategies, to meditate, to find answers, to rest and recuperate. This can sometimes be after a small operation as well, or having been unwell with something like a flu or a virus or something like, you know, whooping cough, or not sure why I said whooping cough. Anyhow, the message on the card says, set aside your concerns for now. You can make a decision later. Solutions that come from meditation and the need for more sleep or a vacation. This card can represent going on a vacation and with a specific person, and sometimes this can be a very romantic time, you know, really quiet and peaceful like at a retreat. And there can even be a conception, so a fertility, so a pregnancy. Not just a conception of pregnancy either, it can be a conception of new ideas or possibilities, or the forging of some sort of cooperative or relationship. Now, given that we have this thinking man down here, he could be an air sign energy, because they're often sort of insinuated with the mind. So you might be going on this excursion or this possible, you know, co-commitment or collaboration with an air sign type person, or someone who is quite intellectually involved and has ideas or thoughts or propositions to put in the pool of things to give movement forward, or opportunities or ideas or resolution or solutions. Any of those words could be part of a strategy or a deployment that involves this thinking man. He could be very useful to you in your life right now, and it possibly is a male figure or someone who is quite masculine. Now, this could also be literally someone like a bank manager or an IRD man or an accountant or a lawyer or a mentor as well. But it's someone who's generally useful to you, supportive, and possibly digging a way out of a problem that you've got in your life. Down here, express your individuality. It says, allow your true self to shine because you're awesome. Now that card down here, your individuality, and this one up here, embrace your true purpose and begin a new adventure and trust yourself, kind of have very similar messages. It's about either being true to yourself or being honest or being prepared to go on a new pathway and not being frightened of what other people say. You know, a lot of times we feel we need to fit into a certain box, or we need to pretend that we're a certain way to please people, or to, you know, appease family members or work colleagues or our boss or something like that. But oftentimes the true us underneath, with our amazing creative talents and abilities, if we let them shine through, we would be, number one, much happier than being forced to be something we're not, and number two, we can be so much more creative and therefore propel ideas and propositions and motivation and opportunities forward. We create action. So it's really powerful to be yourself, to not be afraid. So if any of you have been in a situation where you have been perhaps put into a box and you've been told to behave in a certain manner and follow this and do that and blah, 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 might be time to rethink that and break free and be who you really need to be, who you are. So we come to this column here and we've got the Nine of Winter, the Nine of Swords, then we have the Door to Romance, and you've got the Power. So the Nine of Swords is unfounded fear, focusing on worst case scenarios, allowing worry to grow out of proportion to the problem. So this can often be at night and in the dark of night, and we did talk about at night, I think we mentioned that, and feeling like things are out of control, and that it can often be when we suffer from anxiety. This can also be related to sleep problems. Now, sleep problems can often be physically related to the lungs and the heart. Some of you may need to go and find out why you're not sleeping or how you could perhaps remedy it. Some of you could have physical issues that could be looked into and could help with that. Some of this could be more emotional, speaking of things like anxiety or fear, or just being really worried about something. And again, you have to remove that negative mind talk, and you have to focus more on positive outcomes and try and visualize a successful outcome. Writing things down in a diary or with a pen and paper can be really, really beneficial when you're suffering from worry, because when we put them onto paper and we list everything down, it's more realistic, and our mind can't be saying, but what about this happening, or don't forget that. If you just list them on paper as real issues and real possible ways of solving them, they become more logical, they become more achievable, they become more finite, and they're not, left to linger in your mind all night long. So writing things down can be very, very empowering and positive. And we come down to under here and we see the Door to Romance. So some of you may have even been worried about relationships, a romantic partner, either your current one, and you may have some issues going on there that need resolution or talking or working through. So again, don't hide from it, do something about it. There's no better way than to solve a relationship problem than communication. Be prepared to listen, and also be prepared to hear what the other person is saying, and to enact on resolution if that's what's required. I know it might mean, not being your full individual self, but when we're talking in terms of partnerships, you always have to meet halfway. It can't all just be about you and how you want to be. None of us are perfect, and to make a partnership work, we have to give and take. That's the reality of life. But anyhow, for some of you, this could be about new romance and opening the door to a new romance coming in. So that would be really lucky. There's not much more I need to say about that. It could be involved with this thinking man. And it could be that there are adjacent possibilities around this romance. You might not be looking at it yet. You might not see this person as a romantic partner. You might be looking at everyone else around you, and he's the one for you. So even though I said we are reading down the columns, sometimes the messages jump up through the rows as well. So that tells us to be fluid and to be less rigid in our rule setting, and to see solutions and answers to things that aren't necessarily in front of us. So to have the power to be more mutable and changeable, and I think you'll find a lot of your answers will come to you in the month of June. And down here you've got the power. Use your abilities to resolve the situation. You can do it. Wow. I hadn't read the message on that card either. So again, it's telling you, if anything here has been causing problems or worries anywhere along the line of the situation of relationships, whether it's work, career, family, love life, you've got the ability to do it. So use your abilities and strategize the situation and work through it with logic, communication, and be able to see beyond the box, see around the corner, and be able to bend and change. Well, speaking of change, we come to this column, the dreamer, the fool. Embrace your true purpose. Begin a new adventure. Trust yourself. So the Fool is a very powerful card. It does often indicate to us a new timing event in life, a new cycle, a new direction, a new aspiration, a new philosophical belief, attention to ourselves in particular as opposed to attention to other people in our life. So sometimes it could be an indicator that you may have been really giving a lot of time and energy to others and perhaps not going the way you really wanted to, which we've seen this twice in the reading. And it could be just saying, well, now is the time to sort that into your life one way or another, to get that to be able to flow and to really uplift the desires or the dreams or the passions or the ideas that you've had and take them forward with you, because you've got adjacent possibilities and there's many doors in there. It looks as though you could literally open to go through. So I think June sees for you, even though you might have felt a bit trapped and you might have even be feeling a wee bit physically tired, some of you, there's certainly things around for you guys to make huge changes and experience new personal power indeed, and growth as well. The winter card down here says it's a timing. The answer to your prayers and affirmations are fully realised in the winter months. So it is a timing card. For the Northern Hemisphere, this could be talking about later in the year when your winter comes back to you again. You could be starting something now that fully blossoms and comes to fruition towards the end of the year. And for us in the Southern Hemisphere, this could be literally about to happen soon. So again, if you had felt you were stifled or come up against a brick wall or you weren't sure which direction to take, you just need to open your eyes and look at it from a different angle, because there's a lot of opportunity around for you Virgos, a lot. And don't be afraid to pursue it and push it and use your strength and be your individual powerful self as you move through the month. And of course that takes us to halfway through the year, and it's quite often an important reading, the June reading, because we are merging into the second half of the year. So it's a nice time for you to get messages like this about timing and changes and opportunities. So this will take you forward for the next 6 months as well, especially new propositions, ideas and opportunities. So let's put these cards away and see what last card arrives for you. From the Keeper of the Lights. This is for Virgo. Divine Director. I love the colour on the card with all that beautiful amethysty purple, warm, nurturing, calm colour. Intervention and purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you are being guided. Happiness is your purpose. And I kind of felt that. I've said it throughout your reading, especially when the Fool had turned up. And the Fool can be very much about divine intervention and galactic timing and celestial timing. So also know that that wonderful purple hue there is very much a soothing energy colour, and it's very much about relaxing any fears or worries and feeling calm and centered and connected and peaceful. It also helps to give up any addictions, the amethyst colour and the amethyst energy. So any addictions or out of balance situations in your life as well. So much wonderful energies coming in there at the very end of the reading for you, Virgo. I think you've had a really nice reading for June. So thank you again for connecting with me and for listening along. I love the comments that you leave, and check out your moon and rising signs as well, because there could also be some powerful energies for there in those readings as well. Take care everyone, have a wonderful month ahead. Much love, namaste.